Hi, my name is Tori Pritchett, and today is April 21st, 2023. And this week, there were 30 reported cases of COVID-19 in the Charlotte-Mecklenburg County area, which shows a 52% decrease over the last 2 weeks. Therefore, each subject is comfortable not wearing a mask. And today, I have the pleasure of interviewing Elle, and I'm going to give her the opportunity to introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Elle Austin. I am a current senior here at Johnson Smith University. I am also part of the Golden Bridge softball team, and I serve as the Student Athletic Advisory Committee Vice President.
All right, and Elle, where are you from?
I am from Elon University, located in Alamance County.
All right, and is that where you were born?
No, I was born in Burlington, North Carolina.
Okay. Is that far from Elon?
That is around 40 minutes.
All right. And how long have you been in the Charlotte area?
I've been in the Charlotte area since 2019.
Okay. And during that time, you experienced your first year of college, correct?
I did.
All right. And how was that for you? Before we had to transition, how was college life?
College life was definitely a new experience. I had to be around a bunch of different cultures and people. So it was definitely an eye-opening experience. It was more free, and I got a lot of opportunities.
All right. And when you say opportunity, what kind of opportunities did you have?
I had opportunities to grow myself as an individual, to just speak out a little bit more, and I could go to different places and meet more people.
Right. And how was your first year of softball?
My first year of softball was kind of amazing. I got to play at a different level, just practicing alone. And it was interrupted due to COVID.
Okay. And during that time, how was the transition for you, with the season going so well for you and then it, coming to a complete stop?
The transition was really hard. I kind of got used to being with my team, those are my girls. So leaving that behind, it was kind of unsettling. I was very unsure of when I would get to be with them again and if I would step back on the field with them.
Okay. And did you have to go home?
I did have to go back home.
And during that time, how did you prepare, for your next season when you came back to campus?
I wouldn't say I necessarily prepared. I was still kind of bummed out about not having the year that I wanted with the girls I came in with. So I just kind of went with the flow and kind of let the uncertainty just kind of leave me.
All right. And during that time, did you develop any new routines while you were, back home?
I didn't develop any new routines. I kind of just fell out of my routines that I previously had because of COVID. I couldn't go to the gym as much as I wanted to, so it was just a different change.
And with you not going to the gym, did you work out?
I did not. I became greatly depressed, so it was kind of hard to leave the house because I was scared. I didn't want to bring anything back to our family or myself.
Okay, and when you say you felt depressed, what are some other feelings that you felt during that time when you think of COVID-19?
A lot of uncertainty because I wasn't sure if we'd be able to go back to what we call normal anymore, when that would be. I had a lot of fear due to not being able to work as much at first because of COVID. People were laid off a lot. It was just very frightening. I didn't want my parents to go work. They worked in areas where they had to be very close to people. So it was just a lot of fear and confusion.
Okay. And when you did go out, how did you feel about, some of the requirements that were in place, such as, social distancing, wearing a mask. How'd you feel about that?
Wearing the mask, it was kind of difficult, coming from somebody with asthma. So I can only imagine that somebody who has a worse condition, but social distancing became kind of difficult in areas where it's a large amount of people usually, and some people wasn't listening, and some people had their kids who would run around. So it was very unpredictable. It was really difficult.
And did that make you, want to stay in more?
It definitely made me want to stay in more.
Okay, and during that time, how did you keep in touch with your friends?
A lot of it was just social media. I didn't actually talk for a good couple of weeks because I was so depressed. I just didn't want to feel that need to, hey, I want to go out and see you, but realizing I actually can't. So I kind of just contained myself in the room for a while.
Okay, and what kind of helped you get out of that, mode?
Staying contained.
Mm-hmm.
It made me feel a little bit safer, even though I was depressed. But yeah, I definitely knew I was safe and I was protected, and that nothing would be spread to me or I could spread to myself.
Okay. And was you saying that school was that, hard for you during that time, adjusting to online?
Yeah, school was definitely difficult. It was kind of hard to get in contact with professors for help if they weren't used to using technology. And then trying to connect with other classmates, it was the same thing. So it was definitely a learning period.
What are some good things you've learned throughout your experience during the pandemic?
Some good things I learned is definitely appreciate your everyday, no matter how small it is, every interaction. It really brightens someone's day, just a smile or a wave. When wearing a mask, you can't see a smile, so it definitely is just a grateful thing to realize. And it taught me discipline, you gotta stay clean, you gotta stay organized.
All right, and so would that be considered? So would you consider that more of a routine, like staying organized, like putting things in certain areas?
I would consider that a routine, yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, and is there anything that you kind of missed that you were able to do during the pandemic while we were locked down?
I definitely think being closer to my family, seeing my family more, and because of COVID, us staying in the house so much, we had to talk a little bit more and find ways to keep those spirits up. So it definitely was a bonding moment.
And what were some things that you all did to kind of stay, uplifted during that time?
Watching movies together was definitely a big one. And kind of just talking about things to do when COVID was lifted. So we just kind of became more in our faith that things would be working out.
Okay. So your friendships and your family relationships changed during that time.
Yes.
Okay. And were your piggybacking and going back to how school was, your professors, were they more lenient during that time when it came to like grading assignments and get extending deadlines?
My professors were pretty much the same. The same way they were on campus, they were the same off campus. So pretty much nothing really budged with that.
Okay. And during that time when you had to transition back, how was it for you being back on campus, still, in the midst of the pandemic?
Coming back on campus, it's a little difficult, being a shy, quiet person. And coming back to more people, it wasn't like 2019 where I had, my teammates coming in and kind of like nurturing me and showing me around. It was more separate. We were around a bunch of people, but we couldn't talk and interact as much. So it was a little bit difficult. I kind of missed online. But after a while, I became more receptive of the new, kind of deal that we had going on.
How did it make you feel? Were you scared? Did you, were things still a little unexpected for you?
Things were definitely still unexpected, and I did have a little, uneasy feeling because I knew people are coming from all over the world. We have people from different countries, so we have different standards of what rules to follow. So it was kind of frightening because I didn't want to have something have to go home and interrupt another school year.
Right. And what are some things that changed for you for softball? What are some things that changed, when it comes to the rules and regulations?
With softball, things kind of stayed the same as far as the rules and regulations. The only thing that changed was we couldn't be together as a full team at the same time. We'd have to break up. Say we had 12 people, 6 would have to practice in the morning, 6 would have to practice in the afternoon. So we still got to do our routines, but we had to be a little more separated.
Yeah, did that affect you all when it came to playing? Because if you all weren't together as a full team, were you all able to, build the chemistry when it was, when that time needed to come, when that time came?
I think our chemistry was still a little strong because we did have our group chat. We were able to talk and send funny videos. But overall, putting it together, yeah, it was a little shaky at first, but we definitely were able to bounce back stronger when we were allowed to come together as a full team.
Yeah. How was it for you when you had to move back in to campus or move back on campus? How was that for you? That transition.
Moving back on campus was a little stressful. We still had to keep our distance, so trying to work around a bunch of people, moving a lot of stuff, being back in the dorm. It was a little nerve-wracking to be that close to people I know. You still have to share stuff with them, so it was kind of uncomfortable at first.
Okay. How do you think the pandemic has shaped you as a person?
I think the pandemic has made me a more grateful person. I used to take a lot of things for granted. Just being able to leave my house. I didn't like being in large crowds, but it definitely taught me that anything can change in any moment. I was very blessed to be able to leave and go out when I want to. Being around a bunch of people, because some people, they have conditions where they can't be in large crowds, even if they want to. So it just made me realize, hey, you have a lot to be thankful for. And something like COVID has taught me that.
And did you have to help anyone that might have had COVID-19?
My brother and my mom actually got COVID 2 times each. So helping them regain their strength and everything back was definitely a challenge. It was scary.
And so with you supporting them, what was your support system like during that time?
They were my support system for the most part, besides like my best friends. So it was kind of difficult, not having them as much because they were sick.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think your future will look like now? Being that yes, we are still in the pandemic, but things are we're trying to get things back to normal. So, what do you think the future will look like?
I think the future for me will still be a little cautious, especially when, having my own family or having people over. Just keeping up that routine of constantly being clean, organizing, I think that's definitely going to stick with me for the long run.
Okay. And is there any additional stories that you may have to share or experience that you may have to share?
I don't believe so.
All right. What about any advice that you would give to someone that may be, going through a pandemic and, they feel uneasy or uncertain?
I definitely believe you have to keep your faith. Whatever you believe in, I have a strong belief in God, and just know that they'll get you through it. Everything works out for a greater purpose, and just know that it's always better than.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Elle, for taking time out to allow the Living Archives team to interview you. We appreciate you.
Thank you.